For years, I kept telling myself I was just tired or stressed or getting older. The intense itch deep under my skin? Probably allergies. That bone-deep exhaustion that felt like my body was shutting down? Must have been the weather or overextending myself. The night sweat so drenching I had to change clothes? Menopause, right? And the quiet feeling, that whisper inside me that something was wrong? I ignored it. I explained it away. I convinced myself I was fine. Until the day I wasn't. These were the symptoms of lymphoma, and I had no idea. If you're worried about your symptoms, or if something in your body just feels off, I hope what I'm about to share gives you clarity, and maybe even the courage to trust yourself sooner than I did. Hi, I'm Joey. I'm living with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I make videos to help cancer patients, caregivers, and survivors feel a little less alone and a lot more supported. Today, I'm sharing the symptoms I missed, the ones I didn't understand, and the ones I desperately wish I had taken seriously. Because lymphoma doesn't show up all at once. It trickles in quietly, and then suddenly, everything clicks. My very first symptom was itchy skin, and not the normal kind. This was an itch so deep it felt like it lived under the surface of my skin. No rash, no dryness, nothing you could see. I tried lotions, allergy meds, new detergents, baths, creams, nothing helped. If someone had asked, "Is this normal?" I would have said yes, because it had been part of my life for years. But now I know it wasn't normal. It was my body's first warning. Then came the fatigue. Not tired, not I didn't sleep well. This was collapse into the bed, still wearing your coat exhaustion. I would come home and fall asleep on the floor. I stopped doing the things I loved. I turned down invitations because I didn't have the energy to pretend I felt okay. Everyone said, try vitamins, get more sleep. You're just stressed. No one, not even me, considered lymphoma. But deep fatigue is one of the most common early signs. And mine was screaming. Then the night sweats started. Not a little sweaty. I'm talking waking up drenched, clothes soaked, sheets wet, hair dripping. I blamed hormones. I blamed the blankets. I blamed everything except cancer. But these were classic lymphoma night sweats, the kind you never forget once you've lived them. There were subtler things too, little signs I brushed off. Getting full faster, a pressure in my abdomen, a swollen feeling in my neck I never bothered to check, low fevers that came and went, and a growing sense that I was losing pieces of myself. Symptoms don't have to be dramatic to be real. Sometimes they're small and quiet and easy to excuse until they're not. The real turning point started when my body began to fall apart in ways I could not ignore. I started losing weight rapidly. I couldn't keep food down. I had intense belly pain, joint pain, and constant nausea. I was throwing up and felt completely depleted. That's when I went to the ER. They ran blood tests. They told me it was likely a stomach bug, something viral. They said to follow up with a provider and sent me home. I tried to believe them. I wanted to believe them, but deep down, I knew this was more than that. And then everything escalated. Almost overnight, lymph nodes appeared all over my body. They were large. They weren't painful to touch, but they hurt from the inside. There was pressure, a burning sensation under my arms. I could see them on my neck. I could see them in my groin. That's when I knew for sure this wasn't nothing. I pushed for answers. I got the scans and eventually the biopsy. The CT scans showed lymphoma throughout my body, in my chest, my abdomen, even my bowel. And then I heard the words that changed everything. Stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Suddenly the years of symptoms made sense. The itching, the exhaustion, the night sweats, the fevers, they weren't random. They were my body asking to be heard long before I understood the language. I wish I'd known that lymphoma symptoms can develop slowly. Blood cancers don't always show up in blood work. Swollen nodes can be painless. Itching can be a real early sign. Extreme fatigue is not just aging. You don't have to look sick to be sick. And listening to your intuition matters just as much as listening to your lab results. I wish I had trusted myself sooner. I wish someone had told me these symptoms matter. So now I'm telling you, if any of these symptoms feel familiar, if your body has been whispering that something isn't right, Please listen. You're not imagining it. You're not being dramatic, and you're not alone. If you want to understand what happens after how lymphoma is actually diagnosed, watch my video on diagnosis next. It will walk you through the scans, the biopsy, and everything I wish I knew going in. Your story matters. Your instincts matter, and you deserve answers. If you're navigating this as a patient, caregiver, or someone searching for clarity, I'd love for you to join us here. Subscribe and be part of this community. Thank you.